Integrated training has been gaining momentum within our industry, even though it is a relatively recent concept. Essentially, integrated training means integrating all different types of training into a program in order for the client to reach their goals. For example, you may include flexibility, mobility, strength, and power. It involves combining movement patterns that do not fall into the traditional gym-based training regime. In fact, a key component of the integrated training approach is to utilize the myofascial slings in order to enhance multiplanar movement. We say that this is more functional and integrated because it relies on the well-coordinated timing of muscle contraction and its associated fascial lines to effectively transfer force and thus produce more effective movement. The integrated training approach is only to be used once you have a thorough and deep understanding of traditional exercise prescription and anatomy, and you've progressed your client to the point that they could handle this style of training. Let me use the analogy of a ladder to explain. Integrated training is a tool that sits at the top of a ladder. The top of the ladder represents movements that are more complex in terms of skill, force, and challenge. In order to reach this, one must first climb the lower rungs, and these lower rungs representing the foundations of exercise prescription. Your client must be able to perform basic movement patterns well, be strong and conditioned, and have a good understanding of where their own body is in space during movement before progressing up the ladder. The advantage of being with your client every week is that you can customize their training to cater for this progression, whilst also making it specific to reflect the demands of their sports, whether they be sporting, recreational, or occupational. Myofascial slings make reference to the relationship between muscles and their associated fascia in the body. Now, if you recall, fascia is the special type of connective tissue that connects everything in the body. Fascia is strong and somewhat elastic, so it is able to store force, release force, and transfer force, all very important factors in movement and performance. And because fascia is continuous, merging from one area to another and integrates different muscles, it can be said that it and the muscles that it surrounds have myofascial continuity. Let's take the example of the thoraco-lumbar fascia. This large fascia covers the lower thoracic and lumbar area on the posterior side of the body and integrates the glutes as well as the lats. Due to the way the muscle fibers and the fascia run, we can state that the right glute is connected to the left latissimus dorsi. Both muscles therefore have the ability to influence each other through this fascia. What this means to us as trainers is that this myofascial continuity allows muscles to exert influence beyond their bony attachments and isolated joint actions. Throughout the body, there are many examples of these continuous lines, and as such, we have specific names for their given location. The glute lat line that was just used in this example is considered part of the posterior oblique sling. Therefore, instead of just training muscles in relationship to their joint action, we need to consider training the lines, or as we term it, the slings. When training the movement of the slings, we're capitalizing on its slingshot properties. These being the effect of winding up to create the stored elastic energy and then the release of the stored energy which produces the movement.